Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI has passed on. The retired pontiff died at the age of 95 at a monastery within the walls of the Vatican, where his successor, Pope Francis, had been visiting him frequently. The Vatican says his body will lie at St. Peter's Basilica for the faithful to bid him farewell from Monday. Pope Francis will lead the funeral on January 5th. Well, being the first ex-pope to die in 600 years, the Catholic Church may at least partially script new protocols for his burial, as currently the elaborate rituals publicly available are meant for a reigning pope. Here's NTV's Francis Mutegi.
Emeritus Benedetto.
On Wednesday, during his final audience of the year at the Vatican, Pope Francis had confirmed that his predecessor was very ill.
In questo momento il pensiero va spontaneamente al carissimo Papa Emerito Benedetto XVI, che questa mattina ci ha lasciato. Con commozione ricordiamo la sua persona così nobile, così gentile, e sentiamo nel cuore tanta gratitudine. Gratitudine a Dio per averlo donato alla Chiesa e al mondo. Gratitudine a Lui per tutto il bene che ha compiuto e soprattutto per la sua testimonianza di fede e di preghiera.
Pope Benedict, who had been battling ill health complicated by old age, led the Catholic Church for less than 8 years until 2013, when he became the first pope to resign since Gregory XII in 1415. Church law says a pope can resign if he does so with no outside pressure, but it lacks specific rules on his status, title and prerogatives, sometimes seen as cumbersome cohabitation between two popes at the Vatican that had caused more than one headache for the Catholic Church since 2013. Born Joseph Aloysius Ratzinger, Benedict was the first German-born pope in 500 years and was 78 when he became one of the oldest popes ever elected in 2005 after the papal conclave that followed the death of Pope John Paul II.
Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
Ex-Pope Benedict, a celebrated theologian of the century, was a critic of environmental destruction and the cruelty of capitalism, but was a staunch conservative on religious matters. However, he also came under fire for the numerous sex abuse scandals that took place in the German Catholic Church under his watch. Earlier this year, he admitted to giving a false statement during an investigation into the abuse scandal. The Vatican has painstakingly elaborate rituals for what happens after a reigning pope dies, but no publicly known ones for a former pope. Vatican officials who spoke on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to discuss such matters say the script for Benedict's burial will depend on whether or not Benedict himself left any instructions and decisions that will be taken by his successor, Pope Francis, who will preside over his funeral on January 5th, 2023. Most of the work, including the scripting of an unprecedented event in Vatican history, will fall to Monsignor Diego Ravelli, the papal master of ceremonies. The last pope to die, John Paul II, later canonized into sainthood, was buried on April 8, 2005, 6 days after he died.
Funerals will be on Thursday this coming week, Thursday the 5th of January, at 9:30 on St. Peter's Square, and they will be presided over by Pope Francis.
His body first lay in state in the frescoed Clementine Hall for Vatican staff to pay respects, and then was moved to St. Peter's Basilica for viewing by the public. In 2020, Benedict's authorized biographer Peter Sewald was quoted as saying that the emeritus pope had prepared spiritual testament stating that he wanted to be buried in the same crypt where John Paul II was originally laid to rest. Francis Mutegi, NTV.